You're listening to Morning Roast with Caitlin Mazer and Anthony Mustachio. I'm Anthony Mustachio.
I'm Caitlin Mazer.
All right, we're off to a wonderful start.
Yeah, I let him do that, so.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's, when you let someone do stuff with you, you have to be a little bit nice, and I'm trying to work on that, so it's very...
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of experience with that, and the other person has to be nice to let me do things.
True, too real. So, we're both comedians, I guess.
Comedian's a very generous word.
Comedian is a very generous...
For you.
We cunts. We get on stage and tell jokes when people allow us. Sometimes I'll do it for mozzarella sticks. Sometimes I'll do it for very little amount of money. But
You've made any kind of money doing this? What's that like?
Great.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I've made money doing this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How did we finally meet?
I threw a anti-Donald Trump benefit, a fundraiser at Broadway Comedy Club in Midtown Manhattan last April, and
that was like a really good show. I had a lot of fun.
It was awesome because I invited like a whole bunch of like really funny comedians, and then like half of them bailed out, so I invited you. And then,
I'm used to being that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm usually not on the flyer.
Her nickname is The Last Resort.
I'm used to being every time I'm like on a show I really like, it's at like a good venue, I'm always like Facebook tagged like my name.
Oh my god.
It's like
At least you get tagged. At least people know you're on the show. But, so I threw that show, and our headliner was John Fugelsang, and he is amazing. Mm-hmm. And you were on the show, and you kicked butt. I think I was not in the room for your set, but I'm sure you did wonderful.
It was good. I recorded it. I watched it back.
All right.
You had I loved the introduction you had for me. That was probably like one of my favorite, still like to this day, like one of the best ways I've ever been introduced on stage, because I'm so used to being like, she's really beautiful. And I kind of hate that because like, I feel like, especially if I'm doing it in New York, I feel like the audience like sees me and they're like, she's not like New York hot.
Immediately they're setting a precedent for you to. It's not even that you're funny, because like as a guy, no one's ever introduced me as beautiful on stage yet. But mm-hmm. It's always people I've never met going, he's really funny. And it's like, how the fuck do you know? Yeah, I've seen half the people that come to these shows. They're not very funny. The standards are very low.
Yeah, I'm New Jersey hot. I'm not New York hot. So I get like really scared when they're like, oh my god, she's gorgeous. I'm like, well, you'll see.
New Jersey hot. She doesn't have that much of a mustache.
Yeah, I do get like 4 hairs in the corners that I pluck.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're really getting into it now.
Yeah.
But
so,
yeah, fun times at Broadway Comedy Club.
It was. That was honestly like a really good show. I really had a lot of fun there, and John was amazing that night. Love John. He really killed it, and he was such a sweetheart too.
He is great. For those wondering, my introduction for Caitlin at that show, who up until this point I had never met in person, was she's New Jersey's Queen of Mean, and she's gotten more pussy than any guy on this stage.
Yeah. And I loved that. I was just like that. I loved it because I didn't like with him.
Because it's true.
Yeah, it is. Some people I just get like a good vibe from them, and I know their introduction is going to be good. So I was just like, do whatever. And then I didn't even tell him to do that, which made it even better. And the crowd that we had was also like, everyone really looked like were having a good time. I just love when I can look out into a crowd and like everyone has like their open legs and everything. Like they're very relaxed.
All right. That's like that. Also, that thing you said about knowing when someone's gonna have like an introduction is like the stupidest superpower like you can imagine. Like I could just look at someone and know that if they introduced me at a comedy club, mm-hmm. their introduction for me would be fucking slamming.
Yeah. If I was like gonna have a superpower, I would like. You don't know anything I talk about most of the time.
It's true, I don't.
It's like a lot of times like I'll go on like a date. And they will be like, oh, I'm like nerdy too, haha. And I'm like, cool. And I'll talk to them about video games, and they're like, what? And I'm like, you said you were nerdy. So
that means sometimes I go to an arcade and get drunk and play Pac-Man.
Yeah.
I'm such a nerd.
Yeah. When I was in community college.
Story time. It's story time. It's story time. Everyone buckle up. It's story time. Story time. That's the introduction to story time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love introductions to my stories. So,
I told you, your superpower is knowing that I give good introductions to things.
That's true. I'm glad I didn't lose it before the episode. I went to the bathroom once when I was in community college.
Exciting.
And I thought I locked the door.
Uh-oh.
And I was and I drink a lot of coffee. Like, I go through probably 2-3 cups a day.
Uh-oh.
And I was, like, really, like, pissing, like, pretty hard. And
pissing really hard.
Yeah. You don't really drink coffee, do you?
Literally never.
Yeah. So when you, like,
so it's weird that the show is called Morning Roast.
I guess it's mainly for me and you just roast.
Yeah.
But,
I can find that.
So
the origin of the name.
Yeah, I was having one of those really hard coffee pisses that I do, and I should probably tell a doctor, because I don't think someone that is like an avid coffee drinker is like, I don't have that.
Can we change the name of this show to Hard Coffee Piss?
No. I feel like we'll get a lot of fetish people.
See, there's an audience. We have a niche.
I'm not going to say that.
Say what?
I have a piss story, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, so I was peeing and the door opened, and the woman opened the door on me and she was really shocked. And again,
There's someone peeing in this stall. What are the odds?
Yeah, I don't get embarrassed at all. And I didn't stop peeing, continued to pee, probably peed like harder than I already was somehow. And I just looked her straight in the eye and I said, "What's up?" And she just closed the door on me. And later on, I actually later on found out that she was the professor next door to my classroom. So I kind of wish I was in that class, because that is just like a guaranteed A.
I'm really confused why locking eyes with another person made you piss harder.
I don't know.
See, you got like reverse piss shy, and that's really weird. Like, if you're a dude and you're at a stall and like a guy even walks behind you and just says hi, like that's it. The factory fucking shuts down. You saw someone in fucking reverse, the fucking full steam ahead. Are all girls like that? Are girls like reverse piss shy?
No. Actually, all my friends are very afraid to go to the bathroom a lot, and
Are you sure? Because I've noticed that girls go to bathrooms in groups. Guys never do that.
We do, but I don't know why you know why it is? It's because we go in there if, like, honestly, this is the truth. If someone has, like, a perfume or makeup bag, like, sometimes, like, someone's bag is bigger than the other, so we, like...
So you go and compare?
Yeah, so we, like, you know, give each other our stuff, because, like, not all of us can carry it, and...
literal feminine equivalent of, like, a dick measuring contest.
Kinds of.
That's really weird.
And also, like, if I saw someone that I maybe wanted to sleep with, I'm going to, like, tell my friends, like, all right, guys, is he, like, actually cute, though? Because you don't want to do it in front of, like, you don't want to do it when he's, like, kind of on the floor, because then it's weird, because then you have, what if he comes over, and you have to be like, But, yeah.
You said on the floor, and I took that in a very weird way.
But, yeah, but, no, a lot of my girlfriends, like, if they don't, like, go to the bathroom, like, I'm, like, kind of, like, the girlfriend that, like, my friends are, like, afraid to ask me if I want to go with them, because I'll do this thing where we'll be out to eat, just me and my girlfriend.
What do you do in the bathroom that scares other women into asking you to go with them?
I don't do anything scary, but I do this thing.
You think?
No, well, true. I do this thing where, like, they're like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll be here. And, like, I realize, like, how horrible that is to do to another woman. But I'm just like, no, I'll just stay. Like, it's cool. But I know, like, she secretly is mad because she wanted me to go with her.
See, you're taking it like they're asking you as if, like, you have to go. And you're like, no, I'm okay.
No, but they want me there for, like...
They want you, like, they're asking to do you a favor. And you're like, no, it's fine. Meanwhile, they're asking you for something. Like, hey, Mike, want to help me paint the fence? And nah, I'm okay. I don't need any painting experience today. Like, really.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to stop doing that because I realize it's probably like why like I have more male friends because like Caitlin won't go to the bathroom with me. She's a bitch.
Do your guy friends ask you to go to the bathroom with them?
Yes, I do go to the bathroom with my male friends because they're gay, man.
Okay, that works.
So no one gives a fuck.
All right, that works.
I also go to like a lot of places where like.
I mean,
I'm not gonna do it at like Applebee's, but also why the fuck would I be at Applebee's?
I mean, you could also pass for like '90s Macaulay Culkin. I mean, I guess that works.
Oh my god, are you saying I look thin?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anorexia is a hell of a drug.
Macaulay Culkin's kind of hot.
At one time, man. At one time.
He's kind of hot now. He's got like a Kurt Cobain thing going on.
A Kurt Cobain thing going on?
Yeah, he's like grungy.
All right, Kurt Cobain's
I'm into that.
Kurt Cobain's pretty good looking these days, I'd say.
He was pretty sexy.
One of my favorite roast jokes of all time was at the roast of Pamela Anderson and Courtney.
Oh, that was a good one. Courtney Love was so like
stoned or
I loved it.
Cracked out, and Jeff Ross asks, "How the fuck is Courtney Love look worse than Kurt Cobain?" And I love rewatching that because I love hearing the audience react, the audience scream, the biggest like oh in like fucking comedy history.
Yeah. So I was actually. There was one time where it was on the red carpet and Madonna was in an interview and Courtney Love throws her shoe at her.
My God.
Oh, you didn't know? Oh my!
I don't keep up with the Courtney Love news of the day.
I love Courtney Love.
All right, see you.
I do.
See you.
Okay, bye. Anyway, I like Courtney Love. I like Hole. I don't give a fuck. But...
So we know you love Hole. That's not fucking news about you.
Well, I like, well, everyone is like, oh, Courtney Love, but Hole is like how you know you like women if you like that band. But also I like Holes.
Most people who like women like the Hole. That's the point.
Yeah, we like Holes.
All right, we've explained the joke and we've made it even funnier.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony when Nirvana got in. And when Courtney Love took the mic, the entire Barclays Center just all together, boo, you suck, fuck you, bitch. And she's trying her hardest. So if you watch that ceremony on HBO, they lower the fucking audience, but you still hear insults getting through. And she says something, and you just hear one guy's voice, fuck you, bitch, as she's like trying to talk. And it's very no, fuck her. Don't fucking awe her.
Why?
No.
Why?
No.
I don't know. I don't think
you can respect her contributions to music, but also acknowledge that she's garbage.
I mean, like, that's every musician.
Not every just 95%.
I mean,
of
like,
them.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna dive into the can of worms because, like, if I open up why like certain people should, but I think we could like.
I know a lot.
I think
of
we should at least be like, why do we? I just feel like if you still listen to R. Kelly, it's just like I hate, women. Like if it's like if you still like want to like crank up to Ignition because it's a hot beat, it's like that's just saying like I really don't care about women.
Does this connect to that pissing story you won't tell?
No. It doesn't. I did not get pissed on by R. Kelly.
But you did get pissed on by...
No, I didn't get pissed on at all.
And moving on. All right, this is probably the best first opening 10 minutes of any kind of podcast of all fucking time.
Oh, it is.
Funny enough...
Let's talk about the first time we did comedy.
The first time I did comedy.
Yeah. So where was it?
The first time I ever...
And how old were you?
Well, back when I was a boy. The technically first time... I consider that I have two first times I did comedy.
Okay.
The first time was at like a bar, like at like 11 o'clock at night in the middle of fucking nowhere.
What bar was it?
I think it was called Saloon, or it had it's on Bay Street in Staten Island. It has the word Saloon in it.
Okay.
And I did that, and I knew someone at the time who was pretending to be a comedian, and he had asked me all the time, like, come to open mics with me, it'll be fun, we'll do it together. And I didn't particularly, care for this person, so I wasn't particularly interested.
Were you interested in...
I was interested in comedy. I've always been interested in comedy.
Cool.
So I had written, jokes and, little bits over the years, just
right.
on my own, without ever having an intention of bringing it in front of an audience.
That's cool.
And one night, this dude just, writes me on Facebook. He goes, hey, tonight on Bay Street at Salute. I'm just going to call it Salute. I don't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist anymore, so it really doesn't matter.
And realistically, nobody listening has any idea what you're talking about.
Realistically, nobody's listening.
Yeah. But, people will listen to me.
Yeah. Anyway, so... so I was like, you know what, fuck it, if there's going to be a first time, there's going to be a first time. So I got 2-3 friends of mine, and we went there. It was like, late. It was like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on like a Thursday night at this, bar on Bay Street. And I went up, and I just told like the fucking stupidest... fuck.
Do you remember your very first joke you ever told? I remember mine.
I don't remember the first joke I told there. The only thing I remember was I had like this really half-assed bit on people dieting or people sticking to a diet. And like I was trying to make this comparison that if they want to stick to a diet, they should follow Jesus, because who was more not fat and who was more fit and jacked than Jesus, or something like that. And something about how the bit ended with, if you want to lose weight, drop the barbell and pick up a Bible. And like I really liked how that sounded, even though I couldn't find the proper context for it. Oh. And even now I like how it sounds. So fuck it, drop the barbell and pick up a Bible.
That is really bad.
Yes,
do you want to hear the very first thing I ever said into a microphone with such confidence?
I do.
It was,
"How you doing tonight, guys?"
No, in my like real, deadpan like voice, I was just like, "Hi, I know what you're all thinking. Wow, she's really hot and funny. Thank you." And this one guy in the back fucking lost it.
She thinks she's hot.
But you know what? It was one of those it was one of those things where I think it's really funny. I'm just going to say it. But it was good for me my first time doing it, because it gave me the confidence to continue going with the joke. Because I felt like if I said something really silly at first, I would be comfortable to tell the other jokes.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I don't remember anything from this bar thing other than that. I had it on video, and I deleted it because there was no one in the audience except like the guy who booked the show, who was like a fucking nobody, and my friend. So it was stupid. But the first time...
So realistically, it's like, there probably was no laughs because no one was there.
It was just my friends chuckling, like, "Oh, look at him, he's doing comedy. Oh, yeah. We're showing support." Oh.
But I mean, it is really cool for your friends to go out and support you. Like my first time, I had so many friends show up and support me. I'm really grateful for that, because
it is. That's a good feeling.
I think
it's nice when you have friends.
Yeah.
I imagine. The first time I did stand-up, I actually did stand-up, there was an audience, and I had actual jokes. Mm-hmm. And I was actually prepared, and it wasn't just a last-minute thing. I was at the Looney Bin on Staten Island.
Okay.
And my friend knew...
That place still exists.
It somehow still exists. It's actually expanding to
I didn't even mean that in like a shitty way. I haven't heard of the place in a long time, so I wasn't sure.
You know what it is? Staten Island comedy has progressed away from the whole 2-drink minimum $20 cover charge, and now it's just like at various various bars and various little places around the island, like Liberty Tavern and shit like that. Because the Looney Bin operates.
I went to the mic there a few times. It wasn't that bad. You know what it is? Liberty Tavern. They have a really nice coffee shop nearby. The food is really good, and the bartenders were really nice.
Are we talking about the coffee shop or Liberty Tavern?
We're talking about Liberty Tavern.
Okay.
The food is actually really good there. And the bartenders were really nice. But also, the stage is pretty decent. And the sound system isn't bad at all for an open mic. I
saw a band there, so I'm kind of familiar with it.
It's really not bad. It is really. I haven't been in forever, and I don't know. But it is a very decent place to do an open mic because of the way it's set up is really nice.
Okay, that works.
And it's it cuts off the rooms, so if someone's going in and out to smoke or something, it's on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's where everything's closed off.
Yeah. One time I was at Maria's on Staten Island performing, and some dude walked out.
I got invited to do a show there once, and it was by someone that never met me. So I was like, no. I said yes, but I just didn't show up. I was in school at the time, so I was like, I asked school. But it was also like, I don't know. Yeah. It felt really weird. It felt weird. Like,
I can imagine.
I knew the comedians on the show, but it was just like, I don't know why I'm being asked why to do this.
But yeah, I was standing right by the door, and in the middle of my set, some drunk dude left, was going to smoke, so I just started shotting him up. Next thing I know, he puts the cigarette on my head, he pulls himself next to me, he gives me a big kiss on the cheek. It was definitely the most action I've gotten from doing comedy, which is what we're all in it for, other than, money.
I've made out with an audience member once.
On stage?
No, afterwards.
Oh, okay. Did they think you were that funny, or were you trying to win them over?
I think
she doesn't seem too sure.
I think it was a woman.
Okay.
She was gorgeous.
All right, now
she was stunning. She was actually sitting in the front, and she actually did really like my act. I noticed if there's
is that like a turn on for you?
No.
Okay.
It's not. If a girl talks to me, that's a turn on. But like she, whenever there's like an attractive woman like in the front, I usually look at them because they're like, I usually look at like the hot audience members when there is one.
I usually perform on Staten Island, so I don't get that luxury.
Yeah, well, this was actually a really good show I had. It was in Atlantic City, and I had a really good set. Afterwards, I was partying with the other comics because there was like an after party going on, and we were like VIP, so we got to just go in, but it wasn't like anything happening yet, so we were just having drinks. Okay. This was when I was an alcoholic, and then this is when
decade.
Yeah, and then we were hanging out, and then the chicks that were at the table like went up to us, and one of them really wanted to bang the headliner. So
okay.
Yeah, and then we were all talking, and the chick just I don't really remember too much that happened because again, very deep into my alcoholism. Literally had another comic on the show tell me like I should really think about getting help. Like it was like
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really like. He's like.
You didn't even tell jokes. You just threw up and cried for 10 minutes.
No, he. Well, it was actually very sweet. It's funny, but he was actually very sweet because he was like, hey, like I've just not telling you how to live your life, but I've seen a lot of comics go down the road you went, and I just never forgot that. Because it was also like it was a comic I did like really respect and found very funny.
David Spade talking about Chris Farley?
Yes.
Aw. Never heard anyone say they respected David Spade before. That was really weird.
Anyways, so this I don't know how it happened, but like she just like grabbed my face and we just like made out for a little bit. And one of the comics just was like, okay, it's time to go.
Caitlin's getting too much more action than every other person here.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, let's go home now. Because I drove. I didn't get it. I had the option to get a room, but I didn't just because I don't know. I didn't want to get a room that night. I was down to just like do the show and go. And I think I had work the next day or something like that.
All right. So anyway, where I was before you interrupted me, and then I interrupted you, and then you interrupted me again.
So our friendship.
No, I was going back. No, I didn't realize how far into interrupting each other we were. No, I was talking about my first show, the first joke I told at the Looney Bin.
Oh, hey, it all comes back.
It all circles back.
Yeah.
It's like Boomerang. It's coming back to you. I miss Boomerang.
That?
No, Boomerang, the channel, the television channel.
I know.
I didn't know Boomerang was an app. I thought Boomerang was a fucking toy.
Wait, you don't have Instagram. Boomerang is this thing where you can go like in reverse and like girls usually like stick their tongue out really sluttily and go back and forth and put like a black and white filter on it.
Girls going back and forth with their tongue, man? Sounds good in my book. So my girlfriend fucking invited like everyone I know. So there were like 20 people in the audience for me.
I actually remember you told me this.
And yeah. I always said I wanted to do comedy, but like other than that fucking stupid time at Saloon, like I never put in the effort. I never put in the energy to make it happen. But I always wrote jokes on social media, and they usually got people mad at me, so I knew they were good. And one night, a comedian who no longer does stand-up, unfortunately, he was on a show at the Looney Bin, so my friend takes us to see him and then brings us over to the producer, the booker for the show, afterwards, and is like, hey, can we, be on a show here? And he goes, yeah, have you guys done stand-up before? And I didn't say anything, and my friend goes, yeah, we're both comedians. And the booker, he was like, yeah, great, I'll put you on a show next month. So that's how remarkably easy it is to get into stand-up on Staten Island. I had a month to prepare, and I was fucking terrified. Right. The night came, and I was like freaking out, and I didn't realize how many people would not only A, be in the audience, but B, be there for me.
Right.
And
it is, I feel so, when I first started doing it, I felt so much pressure when people I truly cared about were in the audience. Yeah. Because, again,
you'll never hear the end of it.
Well, I'm really into music and stuff. So whenever I would perform, like I would sing, or if I had a thing where I played guitar, I hated when people I knew were in the audience. But if it was a full audience of strangers, I was like, I can do the best I ever could. I was always like that with singing. And
I could be the very best.
Exactly. But so with comedy, it's like, I don't want them to go, and then it's not the very best I could be. And if I'm not the funniest.
If these people,
and I'm not going to be. It's new.
If I mess up in front of these people, they're not gonna know. If I say something I didn't mean to say, or if I play or sing a lyric, especially if it's an original song, they're not gonna know.
Yeah. The thing is, I've always been, like, obviously the funniest friend in my group, and
you're in my group, and that ain't true.
Shut up. I felt so much pressure about, like, oh my god, like, I'm like the funny one, but then I'm on stage and I'm not as funny as I could be. Also, really quick, so there was, like, superlatives in 8th grade, and there was one for, like, funniest, like, class clown, like, funniest, person.
Okay.
And I had no friends. I was a little goth girl. I had friends, but, it was the goth kids. I wore my spike collar and everything, and somehow I was a runner-up. I said nothing. But, like, I was against, like, I was against the head cheerleader because she wanted a spot in the yearbook. She wasn't even funny.
Oh, she just wanted to be class clown, or?
Yeah, like, that was, like, the thing. If, like, you were the top athlete, you got to, like, it was just, like, a thing. Like, you could get enough people to vote for you because everyone knew them. So, like, all the superlatives were all, like, the top athletes because everyone knew them.
It's funny because in high school, when we did that,
I just thought it was so funny because, like, I didn't tell anyone, and then I had all these, and I didn't know, and then, like, I just thought that was, like,
in high school, the same thing happened to me.
I lost.
That
by 1 vote. I knew someone on the yearbook committee, and they're like, you only lost by 1 vote.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, that should have been a fucking recount.
A recount, but what? Still 1 vote. How many votes could it possibly have been? Like fucking 20?
No.
Oh. Recount.
I knew someone in the yearbook committee, and they were literally like, we had to count it twice because it was that close.
So there was a recount. So what are you complaining for?
No,
I want to recount it a second time.
I want a third time, you little motherfuckers with your little fucking pasty hands.
I might win this time. But yeah, the same thing happened to me in high school. Like when they were voting for things, like I never campaigned for anything, but like a couple people came up to me like, yeah, we voted you for class clown, and I was like, oh my god, thank you.
Yeah.
I never had such a high compliment.
It felt, like, awesome.
And I had actually got my driver's license that week. Like, I passed my road test.
Yeah.
But, like, being told, like, by people, like, yeah, I voted for you for class clown. That was, like, the high point of my entire week. You people think I'm a clown. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be labeled forever.
So,
anyway.
I'm going to take 1 second. I'm just going to get another water.
We'll be right back with Caitlin and Anthony's morning roast. Now it's time for a commercial. Have you ever felt not fresh down there? Well, try taking care of yourself. Basic hygiene's important. So anyway, back to where I was before you interrupted me a 25th time. As I'm trying to tell this fucking story.
Wait, before the break, did you, like, do a Vagisil reference?
I did.
Me and Richard always, like, we have, like, an inside joke with that.
Richard is her friend.
He's gay.
Richard is her gay friend.
Yeah? We have a joke about Vagisil because, and, like, I don't know. We just thought it would be funny if, like, Vagisil sponsored us or something.
Sponsored what?
Just, like...
you as people?
Like, I just thought it would be funny, like, to be a sponsor for Vagisil. Like, if I was the Vagisil girl, I think that would be so funny.
Can we call the podcast The Vagisil Girl?
No. But I would love to be the Vagisil wipe girl. I'm like, for the dirty girl on the go.
Huh. What a weird fucking... that's weird, because, like, I've always wanted to be,
I have many dreams.
I've always wanted to replace, like, the Charmin Bears with myself as the sponsor for when you just need to wipe your ass just right. And it's just me holding up toilet paper.
I had a cousin that...
You had a cousin?
I have a cousin.
Okay.
And they, because those little commercials, they actually refused to use Charmin toilet paper as a child because they thought it was gross. And they thought, like, the bears actually, like... use toilet paper with that.
It's weird because I've been told all my life bears shit in the woods, and now all of a sudden bears are using like indoor plumbing, and it's very strange.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's weird.
All right, go back to that story.
Bears have evolved. I don't remember what the story was. Okay, I remember now.
Comedy. Caitlin invited
like half of everyone I know.
You are apparently a comedian doing a show. Wasn't your very first time?
It was my second time. My first official time. It was like. This was the pilot after the like the demo aired on like late night. So they take all the comedians out into the hallway of Showplace because Staten Island's only fucking legit comedy club is in a storage room of a bowling alley because that's how Staten Island rolls.
Is it really? I've never been.
It is. It is the back room of a bowling alley. It's really legit. It's really fucking fancy.
Well, Asbury Lanes is a very iconic music venue. I mean, it's gentrified as fuck now and renovated, but
white people.
But it is it is an iconic music venue though, and it's literally a bowling alley.
All right, I believe you. So I went.
But that's punk rock.
I don't know, punk rock. So they took all of us, the comedians, out into the hallway, and they wrapped up, like, there were like 10 people on the show.
Yeah.
And they wrapped up numbers in little pieces of paper, kind of like drawing straws. And I got mine, and my number was, exactly, and my number was number 2. And so, like, yeah, right, you're going on second. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So I go in and sit down next to Caitlin, my girlfriend, and other people.
Do you, like, to this day, feel weird about going early?
No, not really. Only if I might be insulted if I'm told I'm going too early.
Right.
You're going on first, and we're getting you the fuck out of the way.
Oh, I am never. I've never been first, but I think I would be. But I've gone on very early because it's always like, comics get really weird about like, oh, I'm not ready to go on. I was like, you do this all the time.
How
like,
are you? What are these 10 minutes gonna do?
Yeah, I never understood that. I've always been like, oh my god, I've literally said sometimes, you guys are such fucking babies. I'm gonna go now. And then I've just been like, hold my fucking purse. Make sure no one like takes my shit. And then I do my set.
She throws it in her purse at like a stranger. Here, hold this.
Oh, I've done that. But like, it was like a comic I was actually friends with. I didn't go into, it was like people like I actually hung out with outside of comedy, not just like a comedian. It was like someone that's like busted my balls before, like, and we've like hung out.
Yeah, I hate getting my balls busted as a guy. Anyway, so I go up on stage, and it is this has to be like the funniest. This better be like the funniest fucking punchline for how long it's taken me to get here. Dude, the break and the fucking random twisted turns. So
not
the first joke,
is analyzing it like a comedian.
The first joke I told on stage, I got on stage and went to the mic. And earlier that day, Chris Brown announced that this was 2013. This was summer 2013. This was 5 years ago, like a couple days ago, actually, was the anniversary. And I marked it by crying. So he said that his next album was going to be his last because he was tired of being so famous for, a mistake. So I went up to the mic, and I was like, so, hey, everyone, Chris Brown announced that his next album is going to be his last one because he's tired of being famous for a mistake. And I want to forgive him for his mistake, but come on, dude. Who puts out that much music on accident? And, like, the audience fucking roared, and, like, I felt okay. I was like, all right, I can do this. Because before I got on stage, I love that you laughed at that joke. That was fucking awesome. I'm just kidding. She was looking at me with, like, a straight face, like, either that's not funny.
I love Rihanna, so I was mad.
The joke isn't about Rihanna. The joke is making fun of him.
I know. But I get very sensitive. I get very sensitive because that's my Riri.
But her name's not even in the fucking joke. Do I have to fucking explain the joke to you?
No, you don't have to explain the joke. I just don't. Christ. I'm not gonna laugh at everything you say. I'm not dating you.
You'd be surprised how not true that is. So, yeah, the crowd roared, and because before I got on stage, I was ready to fucking leave. When I saw the amount of people that were there for me,
that's also ballsy.
I was about to run.
That's a very ballsy joke to tell for your very first time.
Oh my god, and it worked.
Yeah, the fact that it worked, I actually do respect the hell out of you telling a joke like that. Thank you. Was that like exactly how you said it?
I'm pretty sure it's exactly. Come on, dude. Who puts out that much music on accident?
No, but like honestly, like that's pretty decent wording for your very first time. Like it's very.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I do actually respect that for
I like being told that my first time was really good. Doesn't happen that often with dudes. But thank you. I actually appreciate that. She didn't think the joke was funny. She glared at me, but she respects me. So you know what? Worth it.
I think that's just like what I do, though.
She just goes to stand-up shows. She doesn't laugh at anyone who goes up, but like she shakes their hands after. Hey, I respect you.
I've definitely done that. Like I've done.
Oh my god, is that like a thing you do?
I like watch it like the angry man, the angry old guys on the Muppets. Like
yeah.
I'm not impressed. And then I'm like, oh,
you shout out heckles.
But I mean it.
Statler and Waldorf don't respect the Muppets, though.
So,
that's part of the character. They don't respect them. That's why they heckle them. Do I have to explain the fucking Muppets to you now?
No. Oh my god, the Muppets movie with Jason Segel was great. I actually went to the midnight showing of that.
I didn't because I wasn't 6 when it came out. Well, but I do love the Muppets.
My best friend wanted to go, so we went. I was working at the movies at the time.
Right on.
Your first joke goes really well. And then, how much time did you have?
I had 7 or 8 minutes.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot of time.
For your first time.
And I closed my set with a joke. The joke that got me into wanting to get up on stage. Okay. It is a joke that is infamous among anyone who knows me, and it's just called the Adele joke. And
oh my god, you told that?
I closed with that joke.
I like that joke, though.
So do I. And for those who listening who don't know me, because everyone who knows me knows this joke, I was watching the Oscars the year that it was early 2013. I was watching the Oscars, and Adele was on performing Skyfall, the theme from the James Bond movie that she sung. And I had never seen Adele up until this point. I just knew that she was a female singer who was popular, and she had a song called Rolling in the Deep. And I see her take the stage. And Adele, I think someone told me she just had a baby, which I guess explained because she looked fucking tremendous. She looked fat. So me and my total not hacky self, I was like the Facebook version of live tweeting because I didn't have a Twitter at the time, so I was writing jokes on Facebook, analyzing it. And I said, "Holy shit! No wonder she's huge. No wonder she's rolling in the deep. Her mattress imprint is deep enough for a kiddie pool." And I don't know if people know this, but women don't like it when you make fun of other women and call them fat. And a lot of people let me know that by tearing me a new asshole and deleting me off Facebook.
Yeah, you lost friendships.
I lost fucking. I guess they weren't that close of friends, but I lost Facebook friends, if that counts, off of that joke. So I knew when I stepped onto stage, I had to tell that joke. And yeah, it's the Adele joke.
How did that joke do at the show?
Not as well as like the Chris Brown joke, but it got a couple chuckles. Like if the Chris Brown joke got like an 8, the Adele joke got like a 5. Okay. But I wanted to close it with it on like a personal level. Like fuck you to everyone who who didn't laugh, who like told me I was an asshole and shit like that.
I mean, like,
it's like the room of jokes. It's popular because people hated it.
Right. It's one of those like you don't want to laugh because it's like as a woman, it's just like society puts so much pressure on us and with like our weight and stuff, but it's just like it is just a joke. And it's like also like people make fun of women that are way too skinny all the time. It's the same thing. You
can make fun of like fucking
people are always like, oh my god, like like she's so skinny, like whatever, like fucking wind's gonna blow her away, and it's just like it's the same thing, and like.
But the second the pendulum slides in the other direction, suddenly you're an asshole.
Yeah, it's I mean, I personally probably wouldn't make a joke like that just because women just deal with enough bullshit, but like. I don't know. I don't think the joke is.
The audience was on my side for me fucking making fun of Chris Brown. Luckily.
Exactly. So it's like.
You weren't, but they were.
I'm sure the rolling in the deep joke was like fine for an audience like that. So what was it like to like get off stage? Like, how did it feel to like get off stage and stuff and like approach people? And did other comics go up to you? Like, did anyone tell you you had a good set or anything like that? And what did your friends think?
A few comics told me I had a good set.
That's awesome.
The biggest thing that stuck out to people was before the show, I set up a bit with my friend who was in the audience, who was also at the saloon thing.
Right.
So I thought up a funny idea where I was going to pretend to write the jokes on my hand, and during my set I would look at my hand. And with, you know, I told him, when I look at my hand, I'm going to be very, very noticeably look at my hand. I want you to yell out, he's reading the jokes off his hands. I want you to yell that out, like, so people can hear you. And I had written a fake social security number on my arm, and I was holding it to my side. So when that happened, he yelled out, he's reading the jokes off his hand. I was like, hey, buddy, I have a bad memory. What can I say? I even I need my social security number written on my arm, and I held up my arm. And to me, that was...
Did you actually do that?
Hell yeah! That was my first...
I don't know why it felt like it wasn't real.
No,
I thought that was a bit.
No, that was a bit that is real. A real bit that I did.
I thought it was like, you know, bitception.
And the booker ran over to him and grabbed him before he could even finish yelling out and goes, yo, take it easy. Do I gotta throw you out of here? And he was like, he told me to do it. And then after the show, like, people are coming to me like, yo, was that planned? And I'm like, no, I really write my social security number on my arm.
Yeah, like
what are you,
oh
fucking...
Yeah,
fucking
I also
stupid.
wear my fucking pants backwards and fucking overalls to keep them up. Like, Jesus
Exactly.
Christ.
I need my name
People
on my
are
underwear, otherwise I forget it.
Yeah, people are so fucking stupid.
For real. When I got off the stage, I felt like I was fucking king of the world.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
That's always a good feeling, like after
It
a good
is.
set.
Yeah, I truly can't describe. It's so hard to explain to people that don't do this. It is one of the best feelings in the world.
It's like a high.
It is. I definitely, like, I've had sets so well where I just felt, like, so happy for, like, days after. Like, nothing can bring me down. It's just like, oh, it's, you know, and that's, like, why I really like to do it, because, like, that feeling is, like, it's so incomparable. And, like, I also really like doing this because people are just, like, you know, they probably had a shitty day and they just, like, want to have some laughs. And if I could just make, like, a random person that probably had a bad week, day, whatever, laugh, like, that's so, like, seriously,
that's
that
so
feel
inspirational.
No, but, like, I'm being totally serious. I'm not, like, bullshit. Like,
yeah, totally.
It's just, like, with music, you know? And, like, I love music, and it's the same thing. Just make someone, like...
I feel the same way, but, like, totally opposite. Like, if I have a shitty week and I go on stage and someone laughs at my bullshit, I feel good knowing that I'm able to make myself feel better through the validation of strangers. Fuck other people.
That's right. A lot of people feel that way, too.
Good. I'm in it for me. Fuck other people.
That's right.
Can we call this podcast Fuck Other People?
No, you can't. So I'm gonna talk about the first time I did stand up.
Tell me more.
So again, this was when I was very deep into my alcoholism.
Alcoholism.
Yeah, and by the way, like, this isn't a joke. I actually was an alcoholic, and I've been sober. I will be sober for 2 years in October.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's
Way to go.
crazy. But yeah.
Pardon me, I'm just gonna crack open a Bud Light while we're sitting here.
No, but no, it is weird though, because I will go to a club and people are like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's like cool." Like they think I don't know how to enjoy, like.
I know I have a problem. I just don't care.
No, but it's just like, I'm like, you know, like, I wanted to, like, look nice and, like, dance to music. Like, I don't need to, like, pound down.
So what were you doing at a comedy club?
Well, this is like whenever people... You're so stupid. Anyways. Okay, so when my first time doing stand-up was at the Stress Factory's open mic.
Okay.
I had wanted to do stand-up for a very long time, and I knew about the open mic. I always, like, really looked up to, like, Jim Carrey, and I love, like, all his movies and stuff, and I kind of just wanted to be exactly like him because he was just so fucking crazy, but I loved it. He had, like, my type of humor, and I finally got the courage. I remember I would always look at the website, and I knew by now when the open mic was happening, and I did this thing where I made a Facebook status where I was gonna...
That's not good.
Well, I knew...
How old were you? When was this?
Maybe I was 22.
Okay.
Maybe 22, about to be 23.
Okay.
And I made a Facebook status that I was going to do this, but I did it because I had been wanting to do it for so long, and I knew if I put it out there and people knew I was doing it, I couldn't back out because someone was going to go.
That's what had to be done to me.
Yeah. I had... My friends had told me for a long time, like, I should really do comedy, like, I would be good at it. And, like, why would my friends lie about that? That's odd. That's a very odd thing to request from somebody. Be
careful, because enabling unfunny people to be funny is how you get people like fucking Gabriel Iglesias and fucking Dane Cook and shit. Don't give me that look.
Yeah, no, I gave you that look because my high school boyfriend really loved Gabriel Iglesias, and I had to, like, watch his special, like, a lot.
Sorry to hear that.
I mean, it was, like, okay for, like, that time, and I guess because I had, like, I think I only laughed because I was, like, making out with somebody afterwards. It's like, cool. But, so, okay. The very first time I did stand-up was at the Stress Factory, and, again, a lot of people really wanted to see. I had so many friends show up. I want to say about 4 tables filled up.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Please note that each table fits only one person.
No. Like, they put, like, many chairs around to, like, fit us. And I was seeing this girl.
Okay.
And she was gorgeous. She's still gorgeous. She was literally a model. Like, she is literally a model.
Does she have a modeling contract?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she's actually literally a model.
No,
okay.
She's literally a model, literally an actress.
Making sure you're using those words right.
Yeah, no, I am serious. She really is. And
at Morning Roast, we're about proper grammar.
Yeah. She's a model, actress, singer.
And she's here with us tonight. Give it up for...
No. She might do an episode. That would be funny.
Okay.
That would be funny.
I believe
She's a very sweet girl, though.
Sweet people and funny people don't usually meet.
It's nice, though, because, like, it was, like, the first time in my life I was, like, with somebody and everyone, like, was like, like, you know, she was, like, way too hot for me. Aww. So, like, no, it's, I knew. I'm not, like, stupid. Like, I have eyes. Like, I knew, like, well, and also, like, I guess she didn't look gay because people are, you know, assholes like that. And
I hear you.
Guys would hit on her, and I would, like, grab her hand, and I'd be like, what's up, dude? Like, that happened to me a lot.
Like, hey, what's wrong?
Again, she was a model, you know?
Yeah.
But, whatever. So, I was, like, so excited, because I was like, oh my god, I get to show off in front of this, like, hot chick, and a lot of my friends came, and I remember I was totally cool, and then as soon as I went in, I was nervous, and I already made a joke, like, I don't think I want to do it anymore. My friend was like, it's okay. I was like, no, I'm, like, actually going to do it while you guys are here. But I, like, kind of was hoping, like, I didn't have to do it. Because I don't know, I just got so scared.
Is this the peeing story you were about to piss yourself?
No.
Oh.
It's not. Related to peeing and comedy. I might one day, but I don't have one now. So, again, this was when I was really into my alcoholism. And I would say I'm 5'2". You think?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Like, very...
If you don't know, I'm not gonna know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very tiny. Okay. Like, I'm 5'2" and I'm very, like, if you saw me, like, I feel like people know, like, they could probably throw me if they wanted to.
All right, I'm keeping that in mind.
Yeah. So I had 3 Long Islands. Something happened where, like, I didn't realize, like, that, like, these were comics that always went to this mic and knew the host and got to kind of just, like, pick when they went up. And it was random, so they put in a hat, random selection, and I was supposed to go on after a few people, but I guess some people were like, hey, can I go on, like, later? So I ended up going on earlier than I was supposed to, and if I went on the time I was supposed to, I probably would have been I would have been more prepared because I would have been able to really enjoy the drinks I was having, and they would have really settled in my system. But when I finally went on, when it fucking hit.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. And...
That's why, gosh, you never make a girl come early.
So, okay. I had been writing jokes for, like you, I had always written jokes for a while because I was always into it and I always had little notes on my laptop. And I guess I just didn't think too much about it. And I didn't think about, like, I guess I just didn't realize, like, you should probably have a piece of paper with stuff written on it. I had nothing planned. I didn't bring any of that stuff. I didn't have anything on my phone because you just don't know, until you go out there. Went up and I told my joke and I fucking blank.
Uh-oh.
So hard. And I'm just like looking at this hot chick. I'm just like, and she's just like, she's smiling. She's just being so sweet. And I just fucking blanked so hard. And Richard, I was so nervous. And Richard, God bless him, my best friend, he knew my jokes because I told him my entire act before I ever went on. Okay. And he mouthed one of my jokes to me.
Aw.
Yeah.
Did it help, or were you just like, what are you talking about?
No. I knew the joke, and then I was able. But I actually totally just remember that. But that was like one of the sweetest things I knew.
Aw.
It was like, oh my god, but I was so, whatever, and then I actually did very well for my first time. I do have a recording of it somewhere. It was actually pretty funny because I was so authentically myself on stage, and I was really proud.
Drunk and confused?
Yeah. No, but like seriously, it was like my voice on stage. Like I wasn't like putting on an act. Like it was truly,
for sure.
It was truly me just telling jokes like I was with my friends, and it was really cool.
That always translates well to stage.
Yeah, it does.
I know. That's why I said it in a not at all sarcastic manner.
I know.
Or was I?
Fuck off. Anyways.
That's rude.
But also, so I went off, and again, like a lot of people liked me. I had a really good time. My friends were like, this is great. Like, you should really keep up at it. Like, that was awesome. And I got approached after my very first time doing stand-up, and I got booked on a show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
At the Stress Factory, or?
No, it was a place nearby.
Okay.
And then I had my very first show, like, pretty soon afterwards. It was really fun, and I have that recorded somewhere, too. And honestly, it really wasn't that bad for my first time doing it. I was, obviously still very wasted because, again, it was when I was really deep into my alcoholism.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard I had a good first time, but I was wasted.
Oh, I said that a lot, yeah. But, no,
How many first times have you had?
A lot. Oh. Oh, wait, like guys say, was their first time? Never. I like old dudes.
Let's just cut this part. Let's cut from my attempt to make that joke and your just thorough misunderstanding of it.
Okay, we'll cut it. Let all the coughs out. Just let them all out. That felt nice. Okay. I just had a really good experience, and one thing with comedy is my stage presence improved very quickly, and my friends definitely like complimented me on that. They're like, you really seem like you've been doing this for a long time. Like, you could really do something. And one thing that was really hard for me was when I finally got sober. Doing comedy when I like first started being sober was like really difficult because I just I didn't know how to do it without the alcohol.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
And I don't know, that was totally like the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do for comedy was really learning how to do my jokes without the
added enhancement.
Yeah, because something about like the alcoholism made me feel like I was fucking unstoppable, and I thought I was the fucking shit. But also, like, I was done fighting with people.
Okay, that's fair.
I was tired, and I was also tired of having sex with guys that weren't that attractive.
Cool relevance, bro.
Yeah. I do want to tell a story about the worst date I've ever had, though.
I want to hear that.
Okay. So, I had I'm a very, like, hopeless, like, romantic. But, like, honestly...
That what you're calling it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm calling it.
Notice how in 45 seconds, I was tired of fucking random strangers. I'm a hopeless romantic. Caitlin Mazer, a woman of many vaginas.
Yes. You know, I take on many roles.
Apparently.
So, I'm just like, you know, and I'm just an old soul. No, but, so, I actually had a show, and I went with one of my friends.
The Vagina Monologues?
No. A comedy show.
She's glaring at me and I'm smiling, a big toothy grin.
So, okay, it was the first time I used Uber because I was going to go to the show and then do my set, and then I was going to go get drunk with my friend. And
good plan so far.
Yeah.
Can't see how this won't work.
Yeah. So I get in the Uber, my first time using Uber, and I sit in the front because I felt like it was, I don't know, I never took it. I thought it'd be rude, you know? It's like, I'm not a celebrity.
There was mistake number one, sitting in the front.
It was. He was, you know, he was cute, and, like...
And the Uber representatives tune in.
No, but, like, also, like, he was crazy, and I feel like he might somehow find this, because he was psycho, and I'm going to go into... I didn't tell you, like, the whole thing of everything that happened.
Please do.
Okay.
I'm interested.
So... we were getting along, and he was like, oh, so, like, where are you ladies headed tonight? And I was like, oh, well, I'm actually a comedian. I'm about to go do a show, and then she's coming with me, and then we're going to go get some drinks. And he was like, oh, wow, really? Like, it's really cool. Like, and he was into comedy, but he was genuinely into comedy because, like, he was like, who's someone you like? And I was like, Moshe Kasher, and he knew who that was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's usually the test. If they know Moshe Kasher as anything other than Natasha Leggero's husband, you know they're into... Yeah. Comedy.
Yeah.
In some respect.
And this was before his show.
Okay.
So he definitely was definitely into comedy.
Not
and
that
he wasn't like, you know who Bill Burr is?
Oh.
I fucking hate that. And we were
Carlin.
Yeah, oh my god. Those are the two I hate getting. He was very into comedy, and we were talking about like other comedians we liked, and we had a lot of the same stuff. And I actually did find him attractive. So I was like, well, I gave him we exchanged numbers so he could kind of be my Uber driver home. Because I was like,
aww.
Yeah.
How many stars did you give him?
5.
Ooh, I like the way you said that.
Yeah.
5. So sexy and seductive.
5. Okay.
Can we call the podcast 5?
No.
Aw. I really like this running joke.
I know. I'm glad someone likes it.
Yeah, listen.
I actually do like it too.
Like I said before,
because I never know when it's happening. That's why I like it. It's not like I know he's gonna say some dumb shit. But
if I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
So, I did my set, whatever, and then I went to go get some drinks, and I was actually seeing someone at the time. He was 40.
There's a lot to break down in whatever fucking story you're telling me.
Okay, so he was 40, divorced, and I kind of think he liked mentioning me to his ex-wife. I think he really wanted her to see us together.
So did he bring you around to the house and be like, so this is my ex-wife?
Oh no, they didn't live together still, but I knew she also lived around, she was kind of around, and I had a feeling he wanted to just have that social media post with us, so she knew. That's
just great.
Mm-hmm. He also I was going to college at the time, and he was a teaching.
That's why I post pictures of my dog on Facebook to make the other dogs jealous.
Hell yeah! So he was a teaching assistant at the college, and I was also going to that college, and I'm not sure if that's frowned upon, but he wasn't in my department, so I was like, ah.
So far in this episode, you had a professor walk in on you taking a piss, and now you're dating this professor. Are these the same professor?
No, different colleges.
Different colleges?
Professors
could teach at more than one college.
That's true, but the professor that walked in on me was a woman.
Okay.
And also, sense. I met him I met him when I was drinking alone by myself at a bar, because again, I was an alcoholic. I wasn't looking for dick. I was just had a problem.
Okay.
And no one would go with me, because they're like, Caitlin, it's Monday.
Can we call this podcast Looking for Dick?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she finally said yes.
Come on. I would love calling it Looking for Dick. So...
It's all about why Richard is in here with us. So
he had a really cute like Southern accent, but every time I went out with him, he did this thing where at the end he was like, "Oh, I don't know if you still want to like hang out with this old guy." Like every time.
Haha, I'm old. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, and it's just
That's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, maybe ask me if I want to come over your place. But I was like, it was just like frustrating because it's like I literally put on makeup and I'm here. Like, I don't understand why this is a thing.
I'm not sure if you still want me around,
right?
You know?
Right? My friend ends up leaving early because her boyfriend ended up picking her up. I wanted to still hang out with that guy, whatever. So the Uber driver, I call him to pick me up.
Okay.
Which is already, like, I had some fucking balls on me, huh?
Yeah, apparently. Hey, guy who's doing this for money, want to specifically come get me?
Mm-hmm. Well, in front of this guy that I'm like...
In front of this man that's, like twice my age?
Yeah. So...
Who's using me to... There's not like a single likable character in this fucking story so far. Only like the Uber driver. I'm rooting for the Uber driver in this story. Whatever this...
Ooh, you're not about to. That Uber guy drives me home, and as we go off a little, he's like, wow, that guy was grilling me really hard. So I end up going on a date with that guy.
The Uber driver?
Mm-hmm.
That night?
No.
A different night.
A different night. We go to this bar.
Did he charge you to take you home the second time?
I don't believe he did.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Taking advantage.
Hell yeah.
It's already a good sign of a healthy, functioning relationship.
I think he did this thing where he, like, was able to discount it or something.
Or he just didn't acknowledge that he was doing it.
Like, No. Like, I think he turned on, like, halfway through the ride.
Oh, I see.
Because I, like, felt bad.
Aw.
Yeah. Because I was like,
I am using your service for free that you offered for me.
Also, like, I felt like, yeah, exactly. So.
Alright, so I'm still rooting for the Uber driver here, man, so change my mind.
Okay, so we go to this bar.
Okay.
Because, of course, I was an alcoholic. And...
Take a shot every time she says the words, I'm an alcoholic.
Talia. So, Okay. Here's the thing.
What's the thing?
That I feel like I have to explain. I
already don't like... If she has to explain another aspect of this to make another part of this make sense, I'm afraid.
No. This is just like a small tidbit. Just like, okay,
Piece of advice?
I'm a girl that I love video games and I love nerdy stuff.
Okay.
Right?
So you've made clear.
Right.
With your Pokemon notebook.
Right. But here's the thing.
Kitty cat pen.
This was a gift. Be nice.
And your leggings with Adele on them.
Oh my god.
It's funny because there's elephants on her leggings. And if you remember, it's a callback to the Adele joke from like 20 minutes ago.
Thank you.
It's a throwback. It's a callback. Very important in the world of comedy.
It is.
You were saying?
Okay. So guys like that are into that stuff as well, like I'm being totally serious. Guys that are into that stuff as well and find out I'm obsessed with it. I have guys that become very obsessed with me and think I'm like the one and everything, and literally will know nothing about me but will think I'm like perfect, and they just like latch on to like this idea versus what I actually am.
Blind horny leeches. What the fuck?
No, it is like really scary.
Can we call this podcast Blind Horny Leeches?
We could.
She said we could. It's not the same as we can.
Yeah.
You were saying?
I am just, he picks me up and he's acting. Keep in mind when I met him, he was very cool and whatever in the conversation, whatever. When he picks me up, he's just like completely different person.
Now that he wasn't relying on you to give him money?
Maybe. He's just like, I think he was just very nervous. And I just kind of picked up like, oh, he's kind of a dorky dude, whatever. But everything I said was like amazing to him. Like, it was just the littlest things, like, oh, I'm bisexual. And it was like, oh my God. Like, literally.
So am I.
Yeah, no, but it was like the coolest thing. I was like, this is literally just like if I filled out an application. This is like basic shit. Like if I was like, I was born March 13th. Holy shit! Like everything.
No way.
Yeah, everything I said was amazing to him, and he made a few jokes about like, oh my god, I'm gonna get a ring like right now. He said that word for word a few times, and it was just me saying basic shit about myself.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Any guy that says they're gonna marry you, like, first things first, is, like, crazy. You were saying?
Again, everything I'm saying is fucking amazing to him. I'm like, the dream girl, he's gonna get a fucking ring. And,
gross.
Yeah, and he knows I'm into comedy.
Uh-oh.
So, he's trying very hard to do, like, dark humor because he knew I liked Anthony Jeselnik a lot.
Okay.
So I think he was trying really hard to be Anthony Jeselnik, and he wasn't Anthony Jeselnik.
For those who don't know, Anthony Jeselnik is a comedian named Anthony Jeselnik.
Yes.
People might not know.
Why did you use that voice?
It's instructive. It's instructional. It's helpful.
I don't know why that got me. That's a good fact. So.
Isn't it?
Yeah. He made this joke that he was like he was gonna like throw me in his trunk.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I was like, free drinks. So we were walking into the bar, and I was able to really like pound drinks down. Like I was.
She's a champ, folks.
Yeah. So I think I had like 3 like Jack and Cokes or something like that.
Christ.
Yeah. But I was fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Like no, seriously, I was able to like drink that much and be fine.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't if I, it was the first date.
The liver of champions over here, folks.
Yeah, it's gone now. But he was, I think, getting self-conscious because again, he was a dorky dude. So he was trying to like drink with me. And I'm not the type of person you should try to drink with. He's kind of scrawny. Like, you should, like, I dated a dude that was from Texas, and he was fucking jacked with, like, tattoos, and I think that's, like, the only dude I ever, like, dated that could keep up with me. Just to,
Is
like...
it because of the tattoos? Or are you just trying to promote a stereotype of men with tattoos, which I think is unfair for both the tattooed and the untattooed men of the world.
He was jacked and had tattoos.
And you also mentioned that he's jacked. See... Now, I feel like, again, you're trying to enforce a
He's
stereotype.
jacked, had tattoos, and from Texas. He can fucking handle his liquor.
Did he have a beard?
Yeah, he did.
See? I knew she was going to... See, she's trying to enforce a stereotype. I'm offended.
Whatever. Anyways, so this guy, he's drinking, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, fine.
Tell me he comes back, like, covered in puke.
No.
Aw.
But he also told me, like, a really dark story. I'm not going to share because it was very personal. But
good thing you mentioned it then.
Well, I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. But he mentioned, like, a really fucked up story the first, and I was like,
I'm slowly starting to not root for him.
Yeah.
Just the way you're describing him.
Yeah. So.
I'm not rooting for you, but I'm also not. I'm also slow. I think I might still have some hope in him. This story is brand new to me, so I don't know what's going to happen.
He was taking a while. Oh my god, I totally forgot about this. There was a guy that actually approached me, like, started hitting on me.
Nice.
And, like, he wasn't my type, but he was very funny. And honestly, like, personality.
I can tell that that's not your type.
Shut up. Personality does matter a lot to me and someone that can make me laugh. So I was like, okay.
You tell good jokes about throwing me in the back of a trunk?
Yeah, because I heard a bad one earlier. He was just being so aggressive about it, too. And he's like, oh, I can get you another drink and all this. And the guy comes back, and he's like a scrawny little thing. He's like, hey, I'm actually, like, with her.
Hey, if you wouldn't mind, I'm actually,
it was like
with her.
It was like image like a closed eyes and a little like pointer finger up, like, excuse me,
please,
teacher, may I go to the bathroom? Like, it was very that.
I don't mean to be, rude to you, good sir, but
this alcoholic girl in dyed black hair and purple lipstick and looks like she hates everyone. She's with me.
I know it defies all odds, but it's true. Tell him, Caitlin.
Yeah. And
was he wearing a bow tie?
No, but he was wearing this like necklace.
Okay, basic thing.
He was wearing a necklace, and it was like it looked like a big crystal, but it was like his vape thing. Gross. And it was before like vaping.
Oh my
God.
God.
Really like a thing.
Now I'm no longer rooting for this person. If they need their vape like attached to them, like literally physically.
It was like
an accessory.
And it was like an on display necklace, like it wasn't underneath his shirt.
I hate this person. You know what? Fuck the Uber driver. I hope he loses.
So
I hope he ends up in the back of his trunk.
So, yeah. So he sits down with me because, you know, he's trying to continue the date. And that guy that was hitting on me continues to talk to me and ask me how I'm doing.
That's awesome. Just totally just like disregards like, yeah, okay, Shrimpy, whatever you say. Anyway.
And he was like, oh, and I had to be like, I'm sorry, I actually really am like on a date with him. Like I literally had to say that. And he was like,
I feel like that's like fucking.
And I was like, you have a nice day though. Like, thank you so much.
Penny and Leonard from The Big Bang Theory.
Exactly. That's exactly how it was. So he turns to me. The guy that hit on me is gone. So it's just me and the Uber guy. Tells me he hasn't had a drink in a long time, and he doesn't feel so well. And he drove us. And I was like, okay, let's go get some food. How long have you not had a drink for? Thinking he's gonna say like, I don't know, 2 months or something. Holds up 2 fingers, and he goes, I haven't had a drink in 2 years.
And this dude tried to keep up with you, Alcoholic Anonymous member, fucking.
Mm-hmm. I think he had like gin too. Like he was drinking gin.
Oh dear.
Like with me.
Oh no.
There was a place that I knew that might have.
This is gonna end in a car crash, isn't it?
No. I'm here.
You don't. Not all car crashes involve death.
True. I go to this other bar that I had a feeling might be serving food, and they're not. They stopped. I was an alcoholic, so I was like, more drinks, and I had 2 beers, and again, he is trying to drink with me, and I was like,
He's still trying to. Oh my! Maybe if I drink as much as her, she'll respect me.
Yeah.
If I do everything she does, she's bound to want to fuck me.
Did actually like sober up, and he's driving me, and I'm like, we're not going where I live. We're going very opposite of where I live, and I just go.
I don't like where this is going.
I go like, hey, this isn't, and it's late, like it's like 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, hey, this isn't like where I live, and he's like, I know. And I was like, he's like, I thought we could just like drive around a little bit, because he knew the thing is, he knew he fucked up the date, and
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to go back to what it was like before the couple drinks, because
he was going to drive you to the stress factory. The face she just gave me was fucking awesome.
You know, I had to be like, you know, not gonna lie, like you're being like a completely different person than when I met you, and you know, I just really want to go home. I was just like, can you just take me home? And he's like, okay. And he was getting all upset, and he's finally driving like where I live.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, you want to like stop at Wawa and get like a coffee? I was like, no, I want to fucking go home. We still go to Wawa anyways, because I don't have a fucking choice, because I'm not driving.
Oh, no.
He's getting a coffee for himself.
And if she'd, like, gotten out of the car and, like, called an Uber, he would have fucking showed up. So there was, like, no way around
That is why I stayed on this date, because I couldn't call the Uber app because he would pop up. So, yeah, because he was the nearest driver.
Hey, Caitlin, you want me to take you somewhere?
He's ringing up, and you know how there's, like, stupid fucking, like, candy?
Honestly, that should have been your fucking... That should have been your out. You put your house in, he would have accepted it, and then all of a sudden, he can't not take you there, because then all of a sudden he gets fired. You would have put his job on the line.
You know
That's how you do it.
You know what it was, though? It was just going so badly, it was so hard to think logically, because it was just such a fucking train wreck. I just wanted to fucking go home.
I hear you.
And, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you call me? I was like, dude, like, when it's that bad, you just don't think about it. You're just like, your mind is so like, what the fuck is going on right now? And I just like...
My mind would have been in a place of how do I ruin this guy's life as like easily as possible in a humorous way. And then I ultimately, if I was in that situation, I think I would have called Uber just to get him in trouble on the job, because that would have been easy and funny.
I know, but you know, so he like, there's like stupid little fucking pieces of like candy in front of the like cashier. He's like, oh well, could I just like get you candy or something? And the cashier is just, you know, has no idea what I've been going through all night. And he's like putting all this candy. He's like, oh, let him buy us a candy. I was like, I don't want fucking candy. And then, you know, but the cashier was being so nice. I was like, fine, give me the fucking candy. And then, like, whatever. So he drives me back, and I'm like 2 minutes away. No more than that from my house.
Okay.
And I just go, yeah, so we're not doing this again. And he stops at a stop sign.
As he should.
I feel the car get really hot.
He turned on the heat. He farted. He
starts crying. Like, really crying. And, like makes that noise.
Oh, no.
He's 32.
Oh, man, that's awesome. He's like 10 years older than you.
Yeah. He's 32, and he does. And he's like, I don't know, I just thought you were, like, really cool, and I'm sorry, I just, like, shouldn't have had a drink, and, like, if I could just take it back before I had all those drinks. And I'm like, if you could just take me the fuck home. We're parked in front of my house, and then he's trying so hard to, like, make it better, and...
Yeah, because all his attempts before have been working out so fucking well.
Yeah. And he, at the time, I was a psychology major, and what I wanted to do with that, I was going to get my master's, and I was going to be a marriage counselor. And he just goes...
Can't believe that didn't work out.
I really did want to do that, though.
I know.
So he just goes, and you want to be a marriage counselor? And I was like...
Oh, damn, he's coming. Oh, no, now he's coming for you.
And when I thought, because again,
Mr. Waterworks got balls all of a sudden.
When I used to drink, if you said that one wrong, this is a big reason why I quit too. If you said that one wrong thing to me, I fucking would snap.
Oh,
like,
boy.
I remember I saw fucking red. I was like, you don't fucking know me. You know nothing about me. You're a piece of shit. You think you love me and you fucking know nothing about me. You're fucking obsessed with me. I just went the fuck off on this dude. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, what do you know? You're a fucking Uber driver. At least I'm trying to fucking make something out of myself. What the fuck have you done? You fucking had a drink over some fucking girl you barely know. Fuck you. Fuck you. And I was like, and next time some girl wants to fucking take you home, you fucking take her home. And I slammed the fucking door.
Did he cry?
Yeah. And, it's like 3 a.m., by the way. No, I think it was 4, actually.
How did 3 hours pass?
He wouldn't take me home.
Christ.
And, like...
You seem very calm for a girl who didn't get home until 3 hours after she wanted to.
And, so...
For him to, like, insult your major is what it took for you to flip?
I was scared. That's why I was trying not to flip out on him.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
And because I wasn't near my house.
Okay, that's fair.
I hear a car still on in front of my house, and it's definitely his car. He calls me 12 times when I get in. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And he sends a whole essay of, like, being sorry and apologizing and everything.
And he was, like, imagining, like, this is what we're going to tell our children one day, how I really fucked up the first date. But it all worked out in the end for me.
Yeah. And then I say nothing, obviously.
Okay.
And then a week later, he says, hi.
Oh, my God. This is a great idea. Sure, I'm sure she's all smoothed out. Everything's smoothed over now.
So, and then one time, much later, because again, still an alcoholic, still need the driving app.
Okay.
And he popped up, and I was like, oh, no.
What's that, Caitlin? You need to ride?
And I canceled it and he came up 3 times.
He probably waited in the area waiting because he knew.
Yeah. So because I was going to go out and drink with my friend. Okay. So that's why I was calling the app.
Shit,
and she wasn't.
Switched to Lyft.
I don't think Lyft wasn't like a big thing at the time.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like Lyft wasn't like as popular, and there was less drivers. That's the only reason why I was still on the app after that.
I'm an adult with my own car, so I don't know these things.
I didn't want to drink and drive, so.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive. A friendly message from Morning Roast.
That's right. So yeah, that was by far the worst date I've ever been on.
That's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Here, I'm gonna throw one back at you.
Okay.
So I assume that is what you wanted. So, I had a girlfriend a few years ago.
Shocking.
Yeah, I know, right? No one's more shocked than I am. So this had to be like 2010, right. And I'm seeing this girl for I think we were celebrating our month anniversary, so it's still just started. And so she went to school. I was in college at the time, freshman, and she was a senior in high school, so it's not creepy. And she went to the high school that was down the street from my house. So I had that day off, and earlier that day while she was in school, which the more I say it, the creepier it sounds.
Actually, my high school boyfriend, we were together for 2 years, and it was like that awkward gap of I was a freshman in high school and he was a senior. I was like, this feels.
Wait, you were a freshman in high school.
I mean, I was a freshman in college, and he was a senior in high school.
Okay, I was about to call the police.
No. So, and then I felt so weird being at his prom because I was like, I'm the hottest one here, but it's not fair.
That was the weird thing about it, that she was the hottest. That she thinks she was the hottest.
I looked so good.
All right, I believe you.
I have pictures. Yeah.
I do not want to see them.
If anyone wants to see them, I will gladly show you, and I will show you my prom date. He was very ugly compared to me. Go on.
This is a person with no need for validation. Anyway.
Nope, that's not why I got into comedy. Yes, it is. I love when people look at me. Go on.
You don't say. Anyway, so earlier in the day, I had taken my car to the shop because something was wrong with the battery or something. Right. And I got it inspected, and they checked off on it. I got an oil change, and they were like, all right, your car is cool. They put a new battery in. They're like, all right, your car is A-okay, hunky-dory. And of course, any novice, anyone who knows how stories work, know that I'm obviously setting this up because there will be foreshadowing later involving this car with a brand new battery in it. Word to the wise for people who know how stories work. So she gets out of school later in the day, and she comes over to my house. And it's really weird because she was walked to my house, which was, I'm not kidding, less than 100 feet from the school. I lived right there. Okay. She was walked there by a group of her friends of 8 people. And it was really weird for me to come out of my house and see 9 high schoolers walk up to my house to deliver someone.
Very creepy.
Very creepy, and it made me look and feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyway, so she comes to my house, and I think we just hung out in my house, and then we went to dinner at Applebee's because, again, I don't know how to do this whole dating thing. And yeah. So we had a nice time, and the waitress was really nice.
I've only been on a date at Applebee's when I was the side girl.
Huh. That's unfortunate.
I mean, I didn't want to go somewhere nice. I'm the side girl.
Okay, that's fair. Did you know you were the side girl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He was a piece of shit.
Infidelity aside, so we had a really nice waitress, which I remember, and it was all a good time and whatnot. And then we leave Applebee's, and we're walking to my car afterwards. And all of a sudden, our waitress pops out the side door, and she goes, "Thank you," at me in like a really nasty way, and then goes back inside. And I was like, that's the weirdest way I've ever heard anyone express gratitude for anything, unless she was really mad at me.
I mean, I just figured, like, that's what they do at Applebee's.
Yeah, they yell at you when you leave. Like, they're mad that they have to work at Applebee's. Which, if I worked at Applebee's, I'd be pretty pissed off, too. But I'm like, what was that all about? So girlfriend is like, I think you forgot to tip. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm like, yo, if you remember, why didn't you say anything? And she's like, because I'm the girlfriend and I shouldn't have to if you're the one paying. And I'm like, well, what is this all about?
Okay, but to be fair, she should have fucking said something, because what the fuck? And she knew that you weren't tipping and she didn't throw down money, and that's fucked up.
That's whatever. It's in the past. Anyway, so, God, I hope I know that no sort tells that this happened, because I don't have any, like, negative feelings towards this person. Anyway, so I go back inside and I give her, like, an extra, like...
I'm sorry, sweetie, you just gave us good time for our podcast, and I apologize, but that's all you are to me.
Anyway. Damn, disrespectful. Anyway, so I run back inside,
I don't know her.
And I throw down, I give her, like, an extra tip, more than she probably deserves, because she was very, like, nasty about the way she wasn't tipped.
Right.
And now I felt both, guilty, and it was weird, because I felt a mixture of both guilt, of like, oh man, I should have tipped her, and anger, like, oh fuck that, I'm not going to tip her, but I did anyway, because I'm a good person.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking her home now, because, like, she had school the next day. And I'm driving down Richmond Avenue on Staten Island, and if you're not from Staten Island, Richmond Avenue is like the closest. It's like a very busy street. It's like runs through the island.
If I go to Richmond Avenue in Staten Island right now, will it be poppin'?
Yes. Okay. It's like, because it's where the mall is, and it's like the main street.
That's why I go to Staten Island, the mall on Richmond Ave.
Yeah, woo, Dave and Buster's all day.
Oh fuck yeah.
Fuck staying in Jersey for it. I'm going to cross a bridge.
Buster's.
So do I. I just went and crossed a bridge for it.
Yeah.
I would just take a ferry to it, which I no longer have to do because it's on Staten Island. But I don't live there, so what am I saying? Anyway, so I just ran off like 7 different tangents. So
yes, that's what you do on a podcast.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's,
Maybe we'll get signed to HBO. That'd be really fucking cool. Anyway, so I went to... I was driving her home, and I stopped at a red light. And as I stopped at a red light, I did not break down and cry like some people do at stop signs, apparently. But my car goes dun, and all of a sudden, all the lights on my dashboard turn on. And I'm like, oh, damn. So I turn my car off, and I turn it back on, and it starts normal, and the lights go off. And I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe just, whatever that was, glitch in the system. Next thing I know, my car starts making a sound like it's about to explode, and smoke starts pouring out of the front of my engine.
Awesome.
I'm like, yeah, totally. I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. So I turn my car off, and a guy, pulls up behind me, and he's like, hey, listen, my man, I'll give you a jump. I'll give you a boost. I'm like, oh, thank you. I don't know what's wrong with the engine. Maybe it just needs a good, good burst. So he gets behind me, and we open our hoods. He goes, all right, where's your jumper cables? And I'm like, I don't have jumper cables. He goes, I thought you wanted a boost. And I'm like, you offered it. I didn't come. You came to me. So he leaves. So I call for a tow truck. And while we're waiting there, like, my car was making weird noises. I'm like, all right, my car is about to fucking blow the fuck up.
It's not just the Applebee's festering?
No, it was not just the Applebee's in my stomach. It was shitty mobile automated handiwork.
Okay.
So her and I are standing out on the island separating the two sides of Richmond Avenue, waiting for the tow truck.
Now, is this like a very shitty spot?
No, this is nice.
Okay. Because that would be a nice little touch if it was also a place you couldn't really stand, but you had to be near the car. So I was like, thankfully I was in the leftmost lane, like, away from everybody. Yeah, every time I've had to get a tow, it was always like in the worst spot imaginable, because New Jersey is like, it's always like I was probably on the Parkway, and it's like,
Yikes.
sorry.
You're fucked. No, luckily I was in a decent spot.
Yeah,
and a cop pulled up and like put a flare behind my car to keep people away.
Okay, that's good.
And while we were standing there, waiting and watching cars pull up at the red light, and people were looking at me, and I was waving, and she was like, "Don't do that." A car pulls up, and the back seat there's a dog, and the window is rolled down, so the dog barks at me. The dog goes woof, and I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, engine."
Really, the dog said that?
The dog said woof,
holy shit,
just like that. I know, right?
Oh.
It's crazy. It was Tim Allen as the shaggy dog. Anyway,
Shut the fuck up.
what, you don't appreciate the classic American
God,
cinematic?
I've seen that Santa. I saw like all the Santa Claus movies in theaters.
All three of them?
Uh-huh.
Wow, all of them, all three of them.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so big Tim Allen fan over here, everybody.
Apparently, when I was a kid, I just lived for that fucking Tim Allen, dude.
Can we call this podcast "Living for Tim Allen"?
No.
Aw. Anyway, so
New Twitter bio.
So I start answering the dog, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, engine broke down, I don't know what's wrong. So the dog barks at me again. Woof, woof. So I answer again, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, waiting on the tow truck. And the girlfriend's laughing, and it's amusing her. And I end up having a conversation with the dog, who's like, the owner isn't, the owner is like not even acknowledging me, as the dog is barking at me, and I'm like, I start fighting with the dog because the dog was
I'm also
getting...
used to like stupid people talking to my dog all the time, so I was probably...
True.
Yeah.
Hey, I talk to your dog.
Exactly.
Huh. Well then. Anyway,
Awkward.
so it's only awkward if you make it awkward. Anyway, so the dog starts getting like aggressive, like the dog's getting like pissed off at me, and is like growling and barking angrily at me. So I'm like, yeah, listen, I don't know what you want me to do, dude. And
I understand the dog.
and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. My car broke down. I can't do anything about it. So finally the dog like barks at me like really loud and then goes back in the car. And I'm like, well, fuck you too. And my car's like, don't yell fuck you with a dog. What's wrong with you? So the tow truck shows up, and I'm at like an intersection of Richmond Avenue. Mm-hmm. So the tow truck has to come out from like a side street and cross over to the opposite side of Richmond Avenue, and then back up to get me, and he has to cross multiple lanes of traffic to do that. So he gets into position as he starts, of course. So as he starts to back up to put his thing into me,
Wow, in front of your girlfriend?
Yeah, really. It's all gonna make sense. It's all gonna make sense soon. As he's doing that, a car jumps in front of him, just fucking throws itself in front of my car as he's backing up. So the tow truck driver is obviously not with this. So he jams his brakes. Now he's holding up multiple lanes of traffic, and he gets out. What the fuck is wrong? He starts screaming at him. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you fucking stupid? Do you not see me backing up? So the guy in the other car is obviously like afraid as this angry tow truck driver is approaching him, and he runs the light to take off to get away from him. He goes, next I'm gonna be towing your fucking car. I'm like, this can't go any fucking worse.
Yeah, he sounded really nice.
Yeah, totally. He was totally on my side. So he tows my car back to the place where I had the battery put in this morning, which seems like a fucking stupid idea because, hello, they were what landed me in this problem. And I took my mom's car to bring my girlfriend home. And she was all like really like bummed out. And I brought her home and, I kissed her goodnight, and then she went inside and I never saw her again.
I love that ending.
Yeah, me too.
I just love that. Just never again.
And I never saw her again. That was the last time I ever saw her.
Just absolutely no communication after that?
No, because she broke up with me. She had to speak to me.
I mean, I just think that's so funny. I just love that.
Yeah, breakups are funny.
They are.
That's why you just like being the side piece, right?
Mhm. I don't get broken up with. I just stop showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. And then when a couple days later, when she was like, "Yeah, it's over," I was like, "Was it something my car did?"
Was it because I didn't tip it? I forgot to tip at Applebee's.
Was it because I forgot to tip at Applebee's? Was it because
Did you want to go to?
Do you want to go to Chili's? I'll try again.
Oh, I love Chili's.
Gross.
Not like, oh my god, I need to go.
I should have taken her to Wawa and offered her some candy. That should have fucking cleared the whole thing up.
All right.
Yes. Breakups are hilarious.
Oh, they are. That was not a breakup. That was a disaster.
Yeah, so was that night. Yeah, disasters. Woo! So, do you like Bill Burr?
I hate when people ask. Like, I love.
Can we call this podcast? Do you like Bill Burr?
Oh my god, we could.
I feel like you wouldn't like it though.
I wouldn't.
Ah,
So
well
that is like, every time people find out I'm a comedian, they're always like, "Oh, do you like know who?" By the way, we use comedian very loosely, so like, don't get triggered.
I do.
We use it very, very loosely. Just flapping and the wind loose.
Enough about your vagina.
Gotta air it out. It's getting hot out there.
And remember, she's the Vagisil girl.
I am. I wish. I would love. I would love. That would be iconic. I'd just be like, I'm the Vagisil girl. You need a wipe? And then I just hand out wipes.
Can we call this podcast, You Need a Wipe?
No.
Oh. See, it's weird because like every time I tell someone I'm a comedian, their instant response is not. It isn't like, oh, do you know this person? Because I'm a male in comedy, so obviously I know what I'm talking about, as opposed to you. But the response I always get is, oh, really? Tell me a joke.
I do get that a lot too, and like I always tell them like it's not gonna. I always try to tell people like it's not going to be funny.
Exactly. They think that stand-ups don't go, most conventional stand-up comedians don't go up there and go, "Hey guys, why the chicken cross the road?" To get to the other side.
Yeah,
like that's not how stand-up works unless you're like Gilbert Gottfried or like anyone who was doing comedy pre-1960.
Right. Like people I try to explain to them like when you tell someone a joke and they really want to hear it, they're not going to laugh because they're not paying attention. They're just wanting they have this
instant gratification.
They have this ego to them where they don't want to laugh at your joke, and it's like
yeah, you noticed that, right?
Like they just like I'm like
that explains it for me.
That was it, and then they're like, I'm like you weren't like listening, and I know they weren't.
Or like,
but
yeah.
So I guess that's our first episode.
Da 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 da. We hope you had as much fun listening to it as we did recording it, which was not that much.
Oh, I had fun.
So do I. Did you have a good time?
I actually did. I thought this was a really good time, and I'm just very happy to like be doing this because I've been wanting to do this for a while. So I'm finally like, oh, this is like exciting. That's all.
Well, I do what I can to make the people happy. Appease your fans, they say.
Hell yeah, just like The Rock.
I've never been compared to The Rock before, so I'm just taking this moment in with like sincere like admiration and gratitude.
And
Thank you so much.
I appreciate that you let me make a wrestling reference and you just let me have that because I don't really get to do that.
I don't even register The Rock as a wrestler. I just consider him just like a fucking walking meme.
Well, he was a wrestler.
I'm sure he was.
He was.
It's kind of like referring to Snoop Dogg and like expecting people to accept that you're talking about him as a rapper as opposed to just like a presence in pop culture of like a guy who gets stoned and does weird shit with Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
it's like a different. It was like a lifetime ago.
I literally listened to Snoop Dogg earlier today.
Wow.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg.
That's so ironic, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's actually not ironic. Pay attention, folks. Caitlin doesn't know what the word irony means.
I don't know a lot of words.
Well, that's why we're here, because at Morning Roast...
Anthony knows them.
Exactly, because at Morning Roast, we care about grammar.
Yeah, and I'm learning. I dropped out.
And that's why I'm teaching her.
Yeah.
This ending to this podcast is sputtering like my fucking car did that night. What a strong finale.
I feel like we have to like pretend this isn't the ending, you know?
So I think that was a pretty good podcast. What do you think, Caitlin?
I think it was good. Yeah.
Well, you would. Your standards are pretty low. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
They are. That is something I'm proud of.
Hey, listen, we all have one thing to be proud of, I guess.
Keep your options open and your standards low, and you will enjoy this podcast.
Is that what you say to men? Keep your standards low and your options open?
That's what I say when I look at men. Not about myself. I'm a lot of crazy.
Help me.
Help us.
No, help me.
By listening to the episode.
Well, if you're listening to this, it means you already did. Or you just skipped to the end to make it seem like you listened, which is fucked up, but I respect it because I wouldn't want to listen to me talk for like an hour and change.
And I respect that because it makes you feel like you did something, and it's good to have goals.
I also wouldn't listen to her for an hour and change, so.
Yeah, I've heard that before from men. So that is not a surprise, and hopefully you do the same thing for our next episode. For that, we will title the second episode Electric Boogaloo.
I'm sure no other podcast has ever done that ever. Let's just...
Okay, then we won't do that. I just thought I was doing a favor.
Okay, I was going to say, because I said...
Or should it be Anthony Jeselnik as Anthony Jeselnik?
Call it the podcast. That should be the name of this episode.
We should always make the titles like your little thing, like, oh, can we call the podcast?
Can we call the podcast Anthony Jeselnik? Can we call the podcast The Vagisil Girl? Well, folks, stay tuned for the next episode, maybe.
Pussy juice.